If the rotating mass of a rim-type flywheel is distributed on another rim-type flywheel whose mean radius is half the mean radius of the former, then energy stored in the latter at the same speed will be A 4 times the first one, B same as the first one, C 1/4 of the first one, D 1.5 times the first one. The correct answer is 1/4 of the first one. The Grublers criterion for determining the degrees of freedom N of a mechanism having plane motion is where L number of links and J number of binary joints. A N L1J, B N2 L12J, C N3 L12J, D N4 L13J. The correct answer is N3 L12J. In a Hartnell governor, if a spring of greater stiffness is used, then the governor will be A less sensitive, B more sensitive, C unaffected of sensitivity, D isochronous. The correct answer is less sensitive. The included angle for the V belt is usually A 10 to 20, B 20 to 30, C 30 to 40, D 60 to 80. The correct answer is 30 to 40. When two pulleys are connected by means of an open belt drive, then both the pulleys will rotate in opposite directions. A right, B wrong, C, D. The correct answer is wrong. A mechanism consisting of 4 links is called a mechanism. A simple, B compound, C, D. The correct answer is simple. The amplitude of vibration is always the radius of the circle. A equal to, B less than, C greater than, D. The correct answer is equal to. An involute pinion and gear are in mesh. If both have the same size of addendum, then there will be an interference between the A tip of the gear tooth and flank of pinion, B tip of the pinion and flank of gear, C flanks of both gear and pinion, D tip of both gear and pinion. The correct answer is tip of the gear tooth and flank of pinion. In vibration isolation system, if N1, then the phase difference between the transmitted force and the disturbing force is A0, B 90, C 180, D 270. The correct answer is 180. Which of the following is an inversion of a single slider crank chain? A pendulum pump, B oscillating cylinder engine, C rotary internal combustion engine, D all of these. The correct answer is all of these. A very sensitive governor will cause hunting. A true, B false, C, D. The correct answer is true. In a radial cam, the follower moves A in a direction perpendicular to the cam axis, B in a direction parallel to the cam axis, C in any direction irrespective of the cam axis, D along the cam axis. The correct answer is in a direction perpendicular to the cam axis. The piston slide valve is an inside admission valve. A yes, B no, C, D. The correct answer is yes. The critical speed of a shaft in revolution per second is as that of natural frequency of transverse vibration. A same, B different, C, D. The correct answer is same. Which of the following is a turning pair? A piston and cylinder of a reciprocating steam engine, B shaft with collars at both ends fitted into a circular hole, C lead screw of a lathe with nut, D ball and a socket joint. The correct answer is shaft with collars at both ends fitted into a circular hole. In a simple train of wheels, the velocity ratio the intermediate wheels A depends upon, B is independent of, C. D. The correct answer is independent of. The two elements of a pair are said to form a higher pair when they A. have a surface contact when in motion, B. have a line or point contact when in motion, C. are kept in contact by the action of external forces when in motion, D. permit relative motion. The correct answer is have a line or point contact when in motion. The maximum fluctuation of energy is the A. difference between the maximum and minimum energies, B. sum of the maximum and minimum energies, C. variations of energy above and below the mean resisting torque line, D. ratio of the mean resisting torque to the work done per cycle. The correct answer is difference between the maximum and minimum energies. The method of obtaining different mechanisms by fixing in turn different links in a kinematic chain is known as A. structure, B. machine, C. inversion, D. compound mechanism. The correct answer is inversion. In a steam engine, the link constitutes A. piston rod and crosshead, B. connecting rod with big and small end brushes, caps and bolts, C. crank pin, crankshaft and flywheel, D. all of the above. The correct answer is all of the above. The secondary unbalanced force is maximum when the angle of inclination of the crank with the line of stroke is A. 0 and 90, B. 180 and 360, C. both A and B, D. none of these. The correct answer is both A and B. In a kinematic chain, a quaternary joint is equivalent to A. 1 binary joint, B. 2 binary joints, C. 3 binary joints, D. 4 binary joints. The correct answer is 3 binary joints. For dynamic balancing of a shaft, the net dynamic force acting on the shaft is equal to 0. B. the net couple due to the dynamic forces acting on the shaft is equal to 0. C. both A and B, D. none of the above. The correct answer is both A and B. The frictional torque transmitted in a conical pivot bearing considering uniform pressure is where R radius of shaft and semi-angle of the cone. A. W r cosec, B. W r cosec, C. W r cosec, D. W r cosec. The correct answer is W r cosec. A railway bridge is an example of a machine. A. true, B. false, C. D. The correct answer is false. Scott-Russell's mechanism is made up of sliding pair. A. correct, B. incorrect, C. D. The correct answer is correct. Which of the following is an example of a higher pair? A. toothed gearing, B. belt and rope drive, C. ball and roller bearing, D. all of these. The correct answer is all of these. The velocity of a flat-faced follower when it has contact with the flank of a circular arc cam is given by A. r cos, B. r1 cos, C. r1 sin, D. r1 sin. The correct answer is r1 sin. Which of the following property of the instantaneous center is correct? A. A rigid link rotates instantaneously relative to another link at the instantaneous center for the configuration of the mechanism considered. B. The two rigid links have no linear velocity relative to each other at the instantaneous center. C. The velocity of the instantaneous center relative to any third rigid link is same whether the instantaneous center is regarded as a point on the first rigid link or on the second rigid link. D. all of the above. The correct answer is all of the above. Whitworth quick return motion mechanism is an inversion of a double slider crank chain. A. correct, B. incorrect, C. D. The correct answer is incorrect. The maximum gyroscopic couple acting on the ship tends to shear the holding down bolts. A. Correct. B. Incorrect. C. D. The correct answer is correct. In a multiple V-belt drive, when a single belt is damaged, it is preferable to change the complete set to A. Reduce vibration. B. Reduce slip. C. A. Ensure uniform loading. D. A. Ensure proper alignment. The correct answer is A. Ensure uniform loading. A force acting in the opposite direction to the motion of the body is called force of friction. A. True. B. False. C. D. The correct answer is true. A shaft has two heavy rotors mounted on it. The transverse natural frequencies considering each of the rotors separately are 100 Hz and 200 Hz respectively. The lowest critical speed is A. 5367 rpm, B. 6000 rpm, C. 9360 rpm, D. 12000 rpm. The correct answer is 5367 rpm. Torsional vibrations are said to occur when the particles of a body moves A. Perpendicular to its axis, B. Parallel to its axis, C. In a circle about its axis, D. None of these. The correct answer is in a circle about its axis. A body is said to vibrate with simple harmonic motion if its acceleration is proportional to the distance from the mean position. A. Yes. B. No. C. D. The correct answer is yes. For the isochronous Porter governor, the controlling force curve is a straight line passing through the origin. A. Correct. B. Incorrect. C. D. The correct answer is correct. The virtual or equivalent eccentric for the Myers expansion valve is defined as an eccentric having such a length and angle of advance that will cause cutoff to take place at the same position as is caused by the combined effect of main eccentric and expansion eccentric. A. Right. B. Wrong. C. D. The correct answer is right. The uniform pressure theory gives a higher frictional torque than the uniform wear theory. A. Agree. B. Disagree. C. D. The correct answer is agree. The centrifugal tension on the belt has no effect on the power transmitted. A. Correct. B. Incorrect. C. D. The correct answer is correct. The train value of a gear train is A. Equal to velocity ratio of a gear train, B. Reciprocal of velocity ratio of a gear train, C. Always greater than unity, D. Always less than unity. The correct answer is reciprocal of velocity ratio of a gear train. In the below figure, PC is the connecting rod and OC is the crank making an angle with the line of stroke PO and rotates with uniform angular velocity at rad s. The Klean's acceleration diagram for determining the acceleration of the piston P is shown by quadrilateral MCQ No. The acceleration of the piston P with respect to the crankpin C is given by A2x No, B2x Co, C2x Cn, D2x Qn. The correct answer is 2x Cn. The driving and driven shafts connected by a Hooke's joint will have equal speeds if A. Cos sin, B. sin tan, C. tan cos, D. cot cos. The correct answer is tan cos. The product of the diametral pitch and circular pitch is equal to A1, B1, C, D2. The correct answer is the coriolis component of acceleration is taken into account for A. Slider crank mechanism, B. 4-bar chain mechanism. C. Quick return motion mechanism. D. All of these. The correct answer is quick return motion mechanism. The flank of the tooth is the surface of the tooth, the pitch surface. A. Above. B. Below. C. D. The correct answer is below. The inertia force is equal to the accelerating force in magnitude but opposite in direction. A. Right. B. Wrong. C. D. The correct answer is right.